Well, it's a windy Saturday morning and we are in Bandera, Texas still. We've been here for about 10 days now. We got 5 more days and then we're going to be kind of crazy, making some quick, crazy trips. Got to go to Dallas for a few days. Then we got to make a quick trip back to Oregon. So anyway, but since we're going to be traveling so much, I figured I'd take advantage of a little bit cooler day. It's only supposed to get to 77 here today. It was over 90 yesterday, and get a few projects done. Well, maybe not projects, but just a few maintenance and chores. So we're going to grease the rig, we're going to do some filter changes inside and a few things. So I'll get my tools out and get ready. Stick around and we'll get it done. Well, the wind's really kicking up now. We got stuff all blowing down the hill. Got to retrieve everything. See if I can do it without falling down the hill. Table down there. Chairs. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a little crazy. Hey, that's what we do, right? Looks like that's a barbecue cover for their barbecue, I think. So we'll get this all picked up. All right, we'll go back down and get that barbecue cover. I went to start the bike up to move it and there's no power, so I have to troubleshoot that along with it. But we're gonna get the hood open on the motorhome here and get some greasing done. I'm gonna start up here on the front and on the front left wheel area. So we're going to grease the drag link, both sides of the drag link. I'll clean all the Zert fittings, do our S-cam bushings here. We'll get our slack adjuster. We'll get the upper and lower kingpin. Then we'll come around to the back, get the tie rod end there, and then do about the same on the other side. So this one does not have any anchor pin bushing grease zerts that I've found. Normally they're back down in there, but we don't see them on this one. So we get these zerts cleaned up and we'll give them a squirt of grease. Also, I'm checking all my pins here, make sure everything still looks good. It's one of those things you just do a quick look over while you're at it. I'm not sure what all you're going to see here, but I like to clean all these zerts off first so I don't shove any more dirt up in there. This one here on the slack. Kind of doing it blind here on the outside. I guess I should get inside there where I can see it better. Got the top grease zert up here. We'll get this one here. And get this one back here. That one kind of points to the back. And we'll get these ones that I can reach easy on top. Here's the top kingpin. Good. S-cam. You see some grease coming out right here. There we go. I don't want to overdo it. Now I'll get down here on my back. I was looking at the wrong thing. But we're going to do the lower. Blocking the camera. The lower kingpin. You can see it coming out there. That's good. That's what we want. You get the drag link here. That's good. Pop. Now I'm going to come around to the other side and get that tie rod end and see if I can find the grease dirt on the slack. It should be up here on the other side. Wipe some of this grease off down here before it drips on the ground. You see that oozed out of there. So yeah, I'll go around and get that other side now. Up here, back at it, that's our slack adjuster when it's on the back side there. Hook onto that. There we go, we see some comes out of there. And now we'll get in the back and get the tie rod in. And this will be the last one on this side. There we go. It's coming out. Perfect. Alrighty, we're on the other side now. We have the same thing. S-cam. Back here behind. We got the slack adjuster and top, bottom kingpin, and the tie rod in back there. So I'll get those greased up. And so one of the other things I like to do, I'm up front here, check my little filter minder, make sure it's not red, check the belts, checked all my hoses, look, see if I see any leaks. This is something that I do every day before travel day anyway. Check my coolant levels, all that kind of stuff. Everything looks in pretty good shape. A little dusty, but everything looks pretty good. So the front's all greased up now, and we'll crawl underneath, get the drive line and the back brakes. All right, well, time to climb underneath. I'm going to start back here by the rear axle. So we get the rear axle, then spin around here. We get the drive line, the U-joints, and slip joint. Got a U-joint back here, and then we got the same. Got a slack adjuster and S-cams back here. So I'm gonna have a hard time holding this camera and reaching everything I gotta reach. So I'm gonna try to set it up over here out of the way, see if you guys can see it, but I'm not gonna make any guarantees whether you can see it or not. So we'll set this down right here. We'll see what we can get to. There's that side. Actually, I'm going to turn it over on this side. You see that S-cam up there? I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but anyway, that's what I've got going on. So here we go. The camera kind of tipped over down there while I was trying to show everything, but we're done with the greasing. We had 4 U-joints, a slip joint, a slack adjuster on both sides, and the S-cam bushing on the rear brakes on both sides. So we got those done. So there's 4, 9 in the rear, and then up front we had the slack adjusters and S-cams on both sides, so that's 13. We have both ends of the drag link, that's 15. Both ends of the tie rod, that would be 19. And then the upper and lower kingpin on both sides, that would make 23. I don't think I missed anything. I think I got it all. So that's one job check off the list for today. Now when we go on our long drives here, I'm not going to have to worry about that and trying to crawl under it somewhere where I don't have this nice concrete pad. This is kind of nice to have a concrete pad here to roll around underneath it on. So I'm a little too thick to use a creeper to crawl around there. So it's nice to be able to have something comfortable to crawl around on. So there you have it. Now I'm going to go inside and see about cleaning the air conditioner filters. It's only been a month and a half, but they're looking pretty bad already. So next stop will be inside. Well, the maintenance never ends, so we came inside to do the filters, and I noticed, I don't know if you can tell because of the LED lights and stuff, but this light's flickering really bad right here. So we're going to change that out real quick. We actually bought a bunch of these, so this just pulls down. It's got a couple little spring hooks in here. Oh, look at that. Part of the LEDs are out too. Nice little connectors. Open them up, pull the wires out. This is only 12 volts. So yes, the power's still on. And I'm okay with that. Tuck the wires back up. Put the little spring back up in there. Good as new. I don't know if you remember or not, but about a month and a half ago, we installed this RV AC silencer, and so far we love it. It works really good, but we've noticed that the filters up front are getting completely filthy in only a month and a half, but we were quite a few dust storms. But so I'm going to pull the filters out of this one, get those cleaned, and we're also going to clean the ones out up front. So there's 4 screws on either side. Take the cover off. Don't let me forget where I put those. Oh, of course, now it's going to kick on. Let me turn it off here real quick. Timing's everything, right? Oh man, yeah, there's a lot of dust up inside there. So we'll wait for that to cut out before I pull the filter out. But you can even see inside here, this has got a ton of dust in there, and even on this outside edge. So we'll take those into the kitchen and get those all cleaned. There we go, the fan quit. So I'm going to loosen these screws here. They're key slotted, so I should be able to just loosen them a little bit and it should pop out. Just like that. So that one's not too bad, but it's definitely collected some dirt, so we'll get that cleaned up too. We'll take them into the kitchen. So the directions say you can just vacuum these out, but I think I'm just going to rinse them out, get all the dust off of them, and then I'll wipe all this stuff down inside here too. And I'm trying to rinse from the clean side to the dirty side, so it pushes all the dirt out. There we go. set some towels up over here, so we'll just set those over here and let it dry. I'm sure the dust storm we had in Valmoria didn't help this any, huh? What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Trying not to drip anything on the floor and keep it all on the counters and the sink, but we'll do the best we can.
It's okay, we have a puppy who drips anyway, so.
Right? So while those are drying, I will take the ones out. We're going to remove these ones too. These ones are a little easier. You don't have to have a screwdriver for these. You just pop these out. You can do it one-handed. That's just a month and a half's worth of dirt.
A month and a half in the southwest desert with wind.
Right. So we'll wipe that all down up inside there too and rinse those off. They're all clean. Now while those are drying, we also had noticed that our bathroom sink, we moved everything out from underneath it here, has been slow to drain. Seems like it's holding water a little bit more than it's supposed to. Of course now it's not going to show it as much, but it seems like it's a little slower to drain than normal, so I'm going to crawl under the sink, take the P-trap out, and see if maybe there's something plugged up in it. Alright, here we go, under the sink. I'm going to put this little bucket underneath here. And we're going to see what kind of a mess we can take by unloosening this P-trap. See what kind of gunk comes out of it. There's a little bit of goo in there. So we'll get that cleaned out. And it doesn't smell super pretty either. So we'll get that cleaned out and put back up there. Alright, got it all cleaned out. And we'll crawl back down here. Get you up here looking at what I'm looking at. Put that back up there. Get that one started back in here. Hopefully. There we go. Nice and hand tight. We'll check it and then we'll check for leaks. Back up on top. Still a little slow. Might be something gummed up here in the top part too, so maybe I'll have to see if I can pull that out and get up there, because it's better. Definitely better than it was, but not perfect still, so might have to look inside here. Alright, well, I pulled this stopper out and it was pretty plugged up with stuff, so took it out, got it all cleaned up. We're going to put it back in. Alright. Much better. Now we'll watch it, make sure it doesn't leak, and then get everything put back underneath the counter that belongs there. Alrighty, well, that filter is mostly dry. I'm gonna go ahead and get it put back in here, and then actually I need to get a rag and wipe this down a little bit here. Get some of the dust out of this section too. But the good thing is I don't see any up above, so that's good. It's doing its job. See, that's key slotted. Boom. Slip it in, and then I'll just snug those screws up just a little bit just to make sure it doesn't leak around it. And then we'll put this cover on. And just like that, the filter's changed in this one. We'll go get the filters in the other one. One of the things that I should do, or needs to be done, is we need to get up on the roof and clean the evaporator and condenser coils out. Try to do that a couple times a year, but it's so windy and blowing today, I'm not getting up on the roof here today, so we'll hold off until we get someplace that's not quite as blowy. And then we'll get up there and double check, make sure the condenser and evaporator are still cleared out. But as long as we keep these clean, hopefully the evaporators will at least stay clean. And then these two, they'll just slide back in like so. About like that. These just pop in here. And we're ready to go again. Hopefully we're not going to be in such dusty areas. They'll last more than a month and a half. Well, there you have that. Those jobs are done. Now I'm going to see about why the motorcycle wouldn't start. If something got left on or what's going on with that. But for those of you who haven't seen, this is where I put my toolbox. Maybe you can see that. So we got that's just a US General Harbor Freight cheap toolbox. It was actually a roll around cart, and I cut the legs off the bottom of it. Put it on this slide out tray. So it slides out. Got my kneeling pad. Got all the tools and rags going flying, so let me go catch those. The top kind of is a junk collector. A little bit of everything gets caught in the top of this thing, so which is just fine. Now let's see if I can get that closed before the wind blows everything away again. Woohoo! Actually, I want my voltmeter. We'll leave that out, and we're gonna go see if there's power on the bike. See what's going on with it. When I turned the ignition on, I had nothing, so let's see what it's doing now. Got nothing. Completely dead. So I think I'm going to start by just checking the power at the volts over here at my battery tender plug-in, see if I got power there. See what the voltage is. Might just be low for some reason, and if that's the case, we'll have to get it charged up. So we'll start by checking the voltage here. All right, well, I'm testing power here at my connector that goes directly to the battery. I only got 4.5 volts. So I'm not sure what got left on and drained the battery down. It was running just fine a couple days ago when we did the Three Sisters run, and maybe somehow I left the ignition on or something and didn't realize it, or somehow the ignition got turned on at some point. Not quite sure. So I'm gonna see if I can get a battery charger on here and get this charged back up and go from there. Well, one last thing I'm gonna try to do here to this motorhome before I button everything up is these wiper blades have been scraping and making some pretty ugly noises. So I got some cheapy ones from Napa when I was up there earlier, and I'm gonna throw those on. One thing I did find out is if you look it up on the Freightliner calls for 22-inch wiper blades, and they'll actually, the 24s will fit and give you a cleaner wipe than what I've seen. So we're going to try those again. They worked the last time, but they were making noise after a few months of sitting in the heat, and we're going to be heading up to Oregon, and who knows what the rain's going to be like as we're traveling through there this spring. So I figured I'd get these new blades put on and here while I had time, and hopefully they'll work better. So I'm going to pop these ones off. It's not too hard. There's a little button down here you push. And push and pull. Oh, it's crazy. Rocking around there. Come on, baby. There you go. You push it. Push it forward. That unlocks it. Get that one on. Get the other ones out of the package here. They don't blow away on me. See, those are the same 24-inch blades. These are just a little bit different. They're the over, not the thin blade ones. Lock that in, and it doesn't touch quite right on the very end there, but we'll give them a try. We'll get over here and pop that other one off here real quick. That. Unlock. Come on, baby. Slip off of there. Like I said, not letting the wind blow everything away. There's some stuff on there from a brush of some sort. Snap it on there tight. And we'll give those a try. There you have it. Another job done. It's nice to get all these things done. And while I was at it, I did get my charger hooked up to the motorcycle. Just got a little 4-amp Napa charger here, so it's connected up. Little 4-amp Napa charger. I was able to plug it into that way. I don't have to pull the battery out. Just plug it into the battery tender part. It only charges at 4 amps, but that'll be enough to charge it up. Give it a few hours. Hopefully it'll take a charge. And then I can figure out why it went dead. I'm wondering if somehow I bumped something, or turned the switch on, or really not sure. I would have thought I would have seen the lights on if the lights had been on. So brand new battery was put in it in November. So I don't think that it's a battery issue at this point, but we'll find out, I guess, down the road. So that's another project. I think I'm done with the projects for today. I think I did a few things, and got a few of our preventative maintenance items done, and a few other things that were unexpected. So if you enjoy this kind of content, let me know. I would like to put out stuff like this occasionally. Maybe show some of the other updates and upgrades we've done, some of our other maintenance stuff. Big Blue will be due for an oil change probably here in the next couple months. So probably in May when we're in Sturgis, I'll do the oil change on it there. It's kind of nice when we got our Airbnb there, got a garage that I store my tools and stuff in. So if I can pull up there, I can do the oil change myself and save a whole lot of money. So we'll probably do oil changes on everything in May when we're in Sturgis, and all of our preventative maintenance. And then we'll be ready to roll on and keep on going on a full-time life. So thanks again for watching. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this. Hit that little notification bell. And I'm going to pop some other videos up over here. So check those out. See some of our old videos. Thanks again for watching. Bye.